indicator, that's all.
Sure. No
Awesome.
worries.
Okay, it's 7:05. So can you, Yaska, can you unspotlight Aparna for now and Murga as well, and then I will introduce Aparna and the session intent. I hope we are recording the session as well, Yaska. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Today is the first session, the September edition of our monthly masterclass. What is a masterclass? Obviously, a class delivered by the master of the masters. Today, we have a decorated speaker. This is an initiative from our district, District 92. We are from Toastmasters International. Toastmasters has a tagline where leaders are made. However, we focus on empowering individuals to speak up their minds in a form where they can appear as confident voices to the world. Thank you so much for tuning in again. For the next 1 hour or so, you are going to be fully engaged because the speaker we have today is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Aparna Raja. I don't want to read her introduction because I feel that she is one of the finest speakers I have ever heard. She is a branding consultant. She was an engineer by degree. However, she's turned into an entrepreneur. Majority of us do that, right? But yes, because she has an engineering degree, of course, she is bound to rock. So put your hands together for someone who has aced the public championship of table topics. She has been a district champion. She has been awarded as the best impromptu speaker, I would say, for people who are joining or non-Toastmasters or new to the Toastmasters world. So please put your hands together for someone who believes that communication is like Wi-Fi. The stronger the connection, the stronger the reception. Please put your hands together for Speak Fluence by distinguished Toastmaster Aparna Raja. Over to you, Aparna.
Thank you very much, DTM Sehrish Jahan. That was indeed an introduction that I'm proud of. I'm blushing, but I'm not sure if I'm worthy of it, but thank you anyways. That said, a very, very good evening to everyone who's turned up today. I know it's a Monday and it's not easy tuning in at 7 o'clock for a session, not knowing what to expect. But let me help you out there. Let me set the context of this speech, like what to look forward to, because it's 1 hour. So what do you look forward to? What's going to happen? Let me give you a clue. We've often seen speakers go up on stage, and the minute they get on stage, from the word go, you are completely hooked on. It's almost like magic. They're mesmerizing. There's something about them, this oomph, this extra something. You can't really put a finger to it. Is it because they speak really well? Is it because they look charming? Is it because their voice is wonderful, deep, and whatnot? Or something else? Well, we're going to decipher that a little bit today. But whatever that quality is, it makes them riveting. You simply cannot take your eyes off them. You want to listen to them more and more and more, and you don't even know time is flying off. We very often come across such speakers. And I can say with complete confidence that every one of us here in this room aspires to be that kind of a speaker. So a little bit of a context, right? Again, we're going to have a 45-minute session on various aspects. I'm going to be covering stage fear, because I hear there are a lot of Toastmasters, new Toastmasters here. We will be speaking about stage fear a little bit and how to really handle it and whether it's something that can be overcome or not. Let's speak a little bit about that. Followed by voice projection. Now, projection is often not spoken about. We speak about the 3 other brothers, that is pausing, pacing, and pitch. Projection is the often forgotten brother, but a key aspect of our voice and stage presence. We will be speaking about projection, followed by stage utilization. When all of this put together and you're able to ace it, no one can really stop the influence you're going to have on people. So let's see how that is done. This is a 45-minute session. I'm trying to break these aspects into 15 minutes. And the last 15 minutes, you will have your time to ask me questions. We already have a few questions. I will address that. And Feel free to ask any questions even in between. If it aligns with what I'm speaking, I will address it right away. Else we will take it to the 15-minute session and feel free. Right? Let's be respectful of one another and let's learn together. So let's begin. Now, I gave you a sneak peek into what is to come. That is, we're going to be speaking about stage presence. What is stage presence? Well, I just told you. How to really captivate the audience, whether it is 5 people or 500 people, the minute you get on the stage. Here, it can be the physical stage, like we have at Toastmasters, or it could even be the digital screen that you're in, the little black dabbas as we call them. That is a stage too. Wherever you step in, you want to have the rapt attention of every single person. They simply cannot look away. Simply should not look away. And that is stage presence. You have something about you when you get on stage. Is something we all want to hear. And that's something we will use to our benefit in our speeches so that our content and our ideas are translated in the best possible way, right? So let's start addressing the elephant in the room. Stage fear. Now, raise your hands if you think you have stage fear. I'm raising 2. Oh, the rest of you, no stage fear? We have some brave souls here. All right, I'm seeing those hands go up. Wonderful. Most of us, all of us. Oh, wow. I saw a splutter of thumbs ups going up like that. So a lot of us, right? Okay. I'm going to tell you something. Butterflies, absolutely. Sometimes it's butterflies, sometimes it's cockroaches. Whatever it is not comfortable. Correct? It kind of sways us away from our purpose often if you don't manage it well. Let me break one thing to you. You're probably not going to like it. It almost always never goes away completely. And that is not a bad thing. Not at all a bad thing. Now, even before I came here, it's been a while since I addressed a Toastmasters crowd. It's been almost 4-5 months since I did a session here at Toastmasters. I had jitters. I absolutely had jitters, and that's a good sign. It means you care. It means you know why you're there and you bother to turn up and you want to do well. And that's a good sign. But the problem is when it hinders your performance, right? Now, stage fear, what really happens? You've got to understand one basic thing about stage fear. It is not a permanent thing. It is transitional, meaning it is there only at the very beginning. And you've got to overcome it successfully. If you don't, it's a trap. You fall into it, you spiral out of it. You forget what you're going to say, you choke up, you freeze, and then the whole thing is a disaster. We all know how that works. Oh, I've had some disaster stories there. And I know I will continue to have. But the key is in handling it and how to do that. Let's see. Oh, all good so far? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, good, good. And come on the camera, feel free. You're on the car or anywhere, as long as you're decent, just come on the camera. Let's see some faces. Wonderful. Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you, Shruti. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Nitin. Come. All right. Now, stage fright manifests in 3 ways. We all know that. Physical, emotional, mental, right? Physically, what happens? Shivering, your voice starts quivering, your voice ceases, your throat goes dry, your palms start sweating, you forget, and all the jazz, right? Emotionally, mentally, you're actually your worst critic in your head. You're saying, oh my God, you cannot do it. I often have this nasty voice in my head. It says, Aparna, you're faking it. You feel like an imposter. And this, I'll tell you, factually, most of us feel this. We feel like an imposter when we get on stage. What are you going to say to all these people that they already don't know? Are you going to say something stupid? Are they going to laugh at you? Are they going to see through you? Let's be clear. We all have something to share. And no one really evaluates you, honestly, except yourself. No one is that harsh. You are your harshest critic, you know that. So keep that aside. You simply have to manage the physical manifestation of this. Right. Now you will see me seeing there because I make notes so that I've covered the points. So don't mind. All right. So what you have to do is you'll have to first know that this will never go away. It's an energy that you will have to shift. You've got to tell yourself that this energy can be shifted. How? I'll tell you what I do, and I've learned this from masters, right? They've actually shown me this jitter that comes, make it, shift it to excitement. How the hell do you do that? Pardon my French, but how do you do that? Jitters to excitement? I'm dreading going on stage. I'm so scared. Okay. Now, like everything, your speech requires a lot of preparation, right? So there is a lot of work that goes in before you get to that point where you're going to deliver. You've got to do the pre-work. The stage is the very last thing that happens to you. The speech that comes out is the very last thing of a multitude of processes that happens in you. There is a lot of effort that has to go in. And hence this entire organization, otherwise every Tom, Dick and Harry can do it. But Tom, Dick and Harry has to go through that 1,000 process before they end up on that stage. And that's what we're going to speak about first. Preparation, no shortcuts. Absolutely no shortcuts. You've got to prepare. You've got to prepare the hell out of it. Now, in this preparation, I want to speak, although we are speaking delivery, content and delivery, of course, go hand in hand. This is something I often tell my clients when I'm coaching them. You really don't have to by heart your speech. It is actually quite detrimental. When you start off, maybe when you're doing in your clubs, it's okay. But if you really want to become that speaker, you shouldn't be by hearting your speech. What you can do is quite theoretical. Get the algorithm of your speech right. Break down your speech. We all know that. Introduction, body, conclusion. We know that. Just remember, what are the points you want to say in the introduction? Let us say you're going to make a speech about, okay, I'm going to take one of my speeches because I remember them and that's how I remember them. This was at the district that I made. I spoke about how I am enough and things like that, how we all jazz it up and magnify all our feelings. So one such speech. So you come in the introduction and I said, I'm going to talk about who I am and who my cousin is, because the story was about my cousin, the hero of the story, right? And in the body, I'm going to say, what was that particular story that led to the change, this particular change? Like I actually wrote down the change where they start fighting back. And the next thing, what was my reaction to that fight? And the next thing, what was my parents' reaction to that change? The next thing, what happened to that? And so on. So the story was broken down like that. I actually write down the algo and then you build upon it. That is not enough though. Then in fact, that is not at all enough. We all miss one key point. You've got to also write down the transition points. What are the transition points? Now, let's say you start a speech. We take an icebreaker. And you go on and say, hi, I'm just going to pick someone's name, okay, randomly. Hi, I'm Aman, and I'm a student. Aman, I don't know who you are, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to imagine I know who Aman is, and I'm going to say this. I'm a student doing my final year degree in so-and-so college. I come from a town called XYZ. And then you don't know what to say. Aman is like, damn, I had something witty, something smart I wanted to say here. What is that? I don't remember. Right? That probably is this transition. That point becomes pivotal for you to go into your body. That point, which will take you into the bigger story, is the transition point. Oftentimes, when you don't know what to say next, you are forgetting your transition point. Not often, it's almost always. You're forgetting, how do I get from A to B? What was I going to say? What Aman probably wanted to say is, in my town, everybody thought I wouldn't make it, but I made it. And this is how I made it. That is the transition point, because the story, that's the opening to the story he's going to give us in the body. This is very important. When you're writing your speech, write your points and see from the last point, how are you going to go into the body? What are you going to say? Remember that. What are you going to say from the body to the conclusion? Remember that as well. This way, you're never going to forget your speech. Say you forget one of the points, you still know the transition, you will know how to move up and wrap up your speech. Only you will know you missed a point. No one else will know. It will look like a complete speech. So the points that come into the introduction, the key points, the points in the body, the points in the conclusion, and how are you going to transition from opening to body to conclusion. This is important. Now, where does this relate to stage fear, you might ask? Because that minute, you're joking, you don't know what to say. You don't know what to say. You know this is where you're going to go. This is where you have to step on. This is the point you're going to turn back to. You've gathered your wits together. Now where? Which way? This way, the transition way, right? So you've got to know your points and you can always come back to your speech. This is how we manage speeches. This is exactly how everybody manages speeches. Your stage fright needs to be handled. Clear so far? All good? Now let's leave that content part aside. You've also got to know a few things about the audience. First of all, the audience predominantly wants you to succeed. Okay, this is a fact. This is a fact from my experience. I say it is not a big bad world. Call me an optimist, but it isn't. Because when we watch speeches, we actually have secondhand embarrassment when they make mistakes on the stage. Why? Because you're putting yourself in their place. You're constantly thinking, I would say this, I would do that. And somewhere your persona is projected onto the speaker. This is a natural phenomenon. For most of us, unless you're a psychopath or a sociopath, which I hope you're not. If you are, please fake it. We don't want to know. But for the majority of us, we are looking at them and we want them to succeed. Have you ever gone, unless you have like some personal rivalry or something, you are not going to think, I want that person to fall down. I want them to forget. No, when they forget, you're at your seat, edge of your seat and you're hoping, yeah, come back. Yeah, you can do this. We are everybody's motivator. And please remember, the audience wants you to succeed. This is so important. If you can really get this into your head, it will take a little bit of a practice. It's a game changer. It is a game changer. You're not going to feel like, oh my God, they're going to make fun of me. No, you're going to be like, they are like me and they know what I'm going through. And so let me continue. Let me persist. Let me finish this up. Even if you've had a debacle there, it's totally fine. Okay, so you've got your speech ready, right? I'm going to do the more practical version of it, which is my favorite part. And I think that's what will help you. This is what you'll probably take back. You've prepared your speech. You've got your points in place. You know your transitions and all of that is there in your head. Satish is like, I'm going to kill it, man. They're going to see like this new speaker coming in. I'm going to just plow them through. And he's pumped up. His energy is high. Stage fright or energy, the story is yours. Call it energy. Don't call it stage fright. Just go in there. Just before you get in, we do a lot of things like, thank you, Murga, for that. We do a lot of things. Vocal cord exercises is a big help. Every speaker does it. I do it too. I just did it before this. You're warming up your vocal cords. The reason is, before your speech, involuntarily, you're holding everything tight, all your muscles and your cords and all. So do a little bit of vocal cord exercises. It will help you. The vocal cord exercises, look up on the net. You have dime a dozen are there. Just do those and then a few ones, 4, 5. Drink a little bit of a water, a sip of water to kind of ease the muscle. These are little things, but they help. And then before you get on the stage, you're going to feel tingling in your feet, your hand and all of that, right? Shake it off, shake it off, shake it up. And very important, your speech does not start when you go there and open your mouth. Your speech starts when the audience focuses on you, and the audience focuses on you when your name is announced. So we next have Toastmaster Shilpa coming to give us a speech on why am I such a damn good speaker? Why am I such a damn good speaker? Toastmaster Shilpa. And then everybody looks at Shilpa. That is when your performance starts. And what do? Most of us, I've seen a lot of Indians do it. We want to be humble and all. We just walk nicely, crouched up like, dude, I'm just a humble boy, girl next door. I'm going to do my best. You carry that energy. You're not going to own the stage. Unless it is part of your speech, unless it's an act that you want to do, please don't do that. Head held high, stand straight, walk with that dignity onto the stage, knowing you deserve to be there. Always. That walk to the stage sets the note, the tone for your speech. Get on the stage. Do not stand in the corner. Go to the center. It's your time. You're there and you will do it. Stand there. Power pose, you must have heard. Stand there. But don't overdo it like this. That looks weird. Just stand there. It can be even on the digital screen when you come in here. Shoulders relaxed, head held high, pleasant smile, And don't start your speech yet. Look at the audience once. Please don't look at faces specifically, like don't look for your search for your friends and family in the crowd. Don't do that. It's detrimental. They might make a monkey face or wave to you. You'll get nervous. Please don't look at them. What you should do instead, just glance, look at them with a pleasant smile, take a deep breath, not apparent. Don't make it very apparent that you're like, just mildly take a deep breath, glance at the audience, and start. All right. Now, there's one more tip that I had to tell you before. Before you go on stage, this is a pro tip, okay? Practice your starting, the first 2-3 lines. Practice it. Say it out. This is what I'm going to say. Look, imagine those words in your head. Imagine what you're going to say. These are the 3 words. This is what. Revise only the first 2-3 lines. If you can, loudly, revise it before you get on stage. Like say it out, speak it out if you can loudly, and then go. Because if stage fright indeed sets in, which is highly possible as we've seen, you will at least know what to blabber. And you will blabber the right thing. It is blabbering, but you will say the right thing. And by the time you finish it, the first 3 lines, and since you've said it right, the way it was meant to be told, you're confident. I told you, right? Stage fright is transitional. It is just something you have to overcome. Those 3 lines, delivering those 3 lines correctly will help you overcome stage fright. Because you've done it already. The 30 seconds is crossed. The chasm of death, the valley of death is crossed. You're good to go. After this, the stage is yours. Right? So this is a foolproof way. Practice before you enter the stage. Enter with purpose. You have to be there. Head held high, walk in, do the vocal exercises if you can. Get on the stage, stand in the middle, look at the audience, glance at them, take a breath, start. Imagine doing this. Your stage fright will drop by God knows how many decibels. I mean, I don't know what it's measured in, but it will drop for sure. Right? So that is probably one of the easiest way to overcome stage fright. Of course, it requires practice, and we will keep doing it. Now, let's move on to the next thing that I wanted to speak. Stage fright, we've overcome. You're there. You're going to be talking, right? Now, we all speak, and vocal variety is done to death. We all speak about vocal variety, picture, pause, pace, picture, pause, pace. We keep saying, okay. Yeah, it's needed. It's so important, and everybody knows it's important. But I want to speak about this lesser spoken thing called projection, because you will hear a lot about pitch, pause, and pace. Projection is something you're not going to hear much about. A lot of us who speak, so I've dabbled in a bit of theater and all of that back in the day, and I was taught projection there. Now, this was something, okay, at the cost of sounding pompous, I'm often told that when I go on stage, I have good presence. Now, rather than just boasting, I wanted to really see what was it that helped me have that presence, because I wanted to teach that to my mentees and whoever. So when I did that, one thing stood out for me. I didn't do anything spectacular at all, like nothing spectacular. There are far better speakers, content-wise, everything-wise, they're far better. But what was working in my favor was my projection. Voice projection. What is voice projection? You guys can look it up, but this is something that really, really changes the speech game. Projection is nothing but throwing your voice where you intend to throw it across the room, close by and far off, throwing your voice. I want you all to do an exercise to really understand what this is. Unmute, feel free, whoever, or keep yourself on mute, but do the exercise. Now, imagine there is someone sitting next to you and you want to say this particular line. We can do this. Please say it to the person sitting right beside you. We can do this. Please say it, Aman, Pavan, try it. Just say it. No one's going to think you're mad. You're already in Toastmasters. We can't be madder than that. There. We can do this. Yes, you said it. Where did the voice come from? Throat. That's fine, Dilip. Just try it without unmuting. It's totally fine. Just try it. It came from the throat. For good speech control, the voice, okay, breathing is pivotal for speech, not just singing and all of that or swimming. For speech too, breathing is important, pivotal. Projection is when you breathe from your diaphragm and the voice comes. You throw it out. It's very powerful. So we practice something called, I actually practiced diaphragm breathing before my speeches. Was doing it unintentionally, but turns out it was what was helping. You take a deep breath, and when you're taking a deep breath, the correct breath, you will not raise your shoulders. You must have heard, if you're doing yoga and all, you must have heard. You take it inside and your stomach comes out, right? That is diaphragm breathing. Take it. Now, the voice that comes is the projected voice. Very powerful. It is very different from screaming. Screaming is raising your pitch. It is jarring on the ears and irritating. It is irritating. You will say, if I have to call someone at the corner of the room, like, really far off, you're going to scream. No, you don't scream. You project. You project your voice. That's what we do in our speeches. When you want to speak loudly, you want to make a point, you project. Now, same exercise. Take the deep breath. We can do this. Project it. The person far off has to hear it. Did you find it powerful? You will find it powerful. It's a lot more. Thank you, Aman. It's a lot more powerful. It's not screaming. This is how you take control of the stage. Projection shows people that you're confident, you're in control, and you've got to listen to me for the next 5 minutes, whether you like it or not, because it is my time to speak. In a very nice way, we are saying it. It's not screaming. It's projecting. I know people might say that I have a very soft voice, I can't do. Not really. Everybody has a range to speak. Now, everybody has this range. In that range, within that range, everybody will be able to project. And that is all you need to do. So practice this. And can I do this breathing and then do it on stage? Like this whole 2-3 steps involved, where can I do it? No, you practice it in advance, this breathing, and then it will be second nature to you. So tip here, this is not just for the stage. Use it when there is a confrontation. You will immediately see that you take back power, you take back control. These are things we use in influencing people at work too, at work, home, anywhere. I hope your intentions are good. Influence only in that way. As long as the intentions are right, you can influence by projecting like crazy. Right? Use it with your kids if you have kids at home. Instead of just saying, keep quiet, don't scream. You could say, keep quiet, I don't want you moving that. That's projection. Oh my God. It just shows them that don't mess. Right? Now, you say the good things also with this. You want to explain your intentions, your feelings, use projection. It comes out very powerful. So use it intentionally and carefully. It makes your voice very clear. Now, another thing will also happen is when you take this deep breath and you're projecting, as you've noticed, your pace will slow down. And it is supposed to slow down. You can never really speak at a very high pace and a maximum projection. I don't think it's possible at all. You will speak at a very, very, very intentionally paced down version of your speech, right? You're going to slow down. Your speech is going to slow down and you're going to project. So it will bring down the speed at which you speak as well. So please do try this projection. Now, one exercise I'm going to leave you with, apart from the room throwing, across the room exercise is what we just did, where we tried saying to the person beside us and saying to the person who's across the room, where you want to throw your voice. There's something called a pyramid exercise we generally do, right? You could say something like, I rock. I rock. Okay, keep your hand here. I rock goes from the throat. I rock goes from the chest. I rock slightly lower. I rock from the diaphragm. Pyramid. Build it. Yes, you've got to see the vibration. Nitin, just feel the vibration. If you're able to feel, it will take practice. It's not easy. It will take practice, but it's not very hard either. It's not. Just do the breathing. It might not come out if you're sitting well, by the way. Your air passage has to be straight and all of that. Sit straight. Let it flow. The air has to flow. Feet on the ground, preferably. Standing is the best way to do it. And slowly move the vibration as you say the word. Even a little bit of movement is enough. Just take it. That is pyramid exercise to project, to build your projection. Do this once or twice a day. That's more than enough. More than enough. You're taking a shower, quickly do it. Right? People will think you're mad. Your family will think you're crazy. But hey, I think all our families think we are crazy. We're locked up in a room for hours. We are way past all that. Please do this. All right. So try the projection through pyramid exercise. Muruga, how are we doing on time? We are okay? Okay.
Yes, we are good to go.
Okay. All right. Good. We have another 10 minutes or 15 minutes?
We have another 15 minutes.
All right. Good. So quickly wrapping up projection. Projection is your ability to throw your voice across the room, to take control of the room, to influence your audience with whatever content you're speaking. It is also something that adds clarity to what you're saying. The words come out clearly because you slow down and there is projection, it reaches them. You might think, oh, we already have a mic. Yes, you have a mic. That's why it'll be very jarring when you speak, when you scream and it's shrill. Projection makes it well-rounded. The words come out well-rounded and then you hear it better, right? So projection, please do that exercise every day and use it. I would say use it strategically in your speeches, wherever you want. One often mistaken idea here is projection is not about having a deep voice. Like, I'm Bond, James Bond. Now we're not talking about deep voices. Men might think, oh, we naturally have projection. Well, you don't. The idea is simple. The idea is throwing your voice. It doesn't have to do with your timbre, your pitch and all of that. That's besides the point. It's about controlling your voice and throwing it effectively across the room. End of story. And we will do that by practicing these exercises. Has nothing to do with your whether you're a male or a female or anybody else, right? Now, the last part of the speech, before we move into the Q&A, is stage usage. So you're prepared really well. You've gotten onto the stage. You overcome the valley of death, got on with your speeches, and then you've had your projections and all of that. You're doing really well, and you've totally managed to capture the audience, but you've decided to be a tree. You have decided to be a tree. What does that mean? You're standing in one place, not using the stage. I have a not so popular opinion about this, is that you don't have to use the stage just for the sake of using the stage. You don't. I remember when I was new to Toastmasters, I had seen this gentleman from a club in Norway or Sweden, not able to recollect. He did his entire speech sitting on a chair, looking down. Contrary to everything we've been taught, that you need to make eye contact, you have to sit up, you have to move, contrary, and it was one of the most powerful speeches I have seen. He spoke about how he accidentally, I think, killed someone. It was an accident and someone died, and he went to prison for it. That was his speech. Oh, heavy speech. And that man, I understand why he had to sit down. But it was so powerful, it was not just the content, it was the delivery too. Yes, he had projection. He had major projections and he used it so well. But what really happened is that he was very purposeful. Use the stage not because there is a stage. The stage is a prop. Like any other prop that you might get to the stage, like a handkerchief, like a pen, like a pencil, like your glasses, like a rose, like our very own Dhananjay did that. Like a rose, like anything. Do it with a purpose. Only if there is a purpose, and then you do it. Yes, I said don't be a tree, and then I'm saying this as well. What I mean by this is you've got to know why you're using the stage. In that particular speech, you're going to deliver that way and how you're going to use it. Right. People will often either stand in one place and talk the entire speech, or they will pace up and down, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's like watching a tennis match. It only gives you neck cramps, really nothing more. That is a sign of nervousness, something we all do unintentionally. And when you're standing, I've seen speakers cross their legs unintentionally, bringing in that closed body language because you're nervous, right? So we're going to speak a little bit about body language here because it's stage usage. You get on the stage. The first thing you need to be aware of is please have an open body language. That is open body language. This is closed. Of course, no one will do this, but hunching like this is also a closed body language, right? Open it up. Just, this is neutral. Stand here. neutral, open body language, and then start. Now, the point where you stand is your anchor, right? That's the anchor. That is point zero, neutral, call it what you want. That is where you will always return to no matter where you go on stage. That is your point zero. You will stand there. Now, you've seen TED Talks and all, they have the red carpet. They're not supposed to move out of the red carpet. They're given that designated area and they're supposed to speak within that. I'm talking TED, not TEDx. TEDx it's taken its own form. So please don't go by those standards. Look at the TED Talks. They are done beautifully. So this is what we're trying to achieve, using it intentionally. You anchor yourself. And then as you're speaking, you look at your audience. Of course, you can do a V, you can do a 1, 2, 3, you can do a scan, do what works for you. Look at the audience. Don't look at their faces, just scan. But as you're doing it, you might want to move. What are you signaling when you move is you're going closer to them. You're on the other side of the audience when you're speaking. When you move, you're making that effort to come closer to them and you're telling it to them. It's an indirect way of signaling that, you know what, I'm on the same side. I'm speaking about us. I want this to reach you. I want this to help you. Those are the kind of signals we give out in body language when we move like that. So think through this, and unintentionally, we also give out some body languages like moving back. If you've seen that in club meetings, you'll often see that people just move back. So body language is something that's ingrained in us, right? You don't even know what you're doing most of the time. A lot of my clients I've seen, they don't even know what they're doing. Like they'll turn like this and they'll talk. And I'm like, are you waiting to run away from the meeting? They probably are because I'm giving them a tough time. Turn, look at people and talk. So this part of body language that you're not aware of, please see your videos and find out what is it that you're doing on stage. Don't be overcritical and don't say, oh my God, look at my dress, and don't go into all that. We are doing our best. Please give yourself some credit. We are doing the best we can. Look at that very objectively. Don't think of it as, okay, that is Manikam standing there and I'm going to see myself and Manikam is seeing his speech. No, it's a person who's trying to do a speech. What can he do better? See it objectively. Here, if he had moved a little bit more, it would have been better. Meaning to say this particular point, you want to say, maybe move a little bit more. Now, how do you move? Your stage is like this, right? Okay, like this, whatever, straight. And you have some place in the front. You're in the middle. When you move, you have a triangle that you cover, like 45 degrees from where you're standing, 45 degrees. This is what we cover when we speak normally. Anchor point, you move out like that, you come back here. Here, you want to talk to that audience, you move there, you speak, look at everyone, finish it, come back here. You want to speak to the audience again, go here, look at them, finish it, come back. Don't do a completely 180-degree movement. Don't go in a straight line where you're standing unless you want to do something like what Ramona Smith did. You guys know Ramona Smith, I presume. She's one of our world champions. She did a fabulous usage of stage, okay? One of the few women who won the world championship and one of my favorites. I was just telling Sehrish about her. That I totally admire her work. You should see her final speech. She's used the stage beautifully. Still standing. Yes, Shalini, that one. She used her stage to break it up for different events in her life. Like what happened to her? How did she overcome? What did she study? And then she came to Toastmasters, what happened? Then she went back and then she came back. So for different stages of her speech, she broke the stage up and she used it. That is like an amazing usage of the prop. It's called Still Standing Shilpa. You have like a quizzical face. It's called Still Standing. It's by Ramona Smith. Do look her speech up if you have it, like masterclass in stage usage. So she uses it beautifully. So if it is a prop and you've decided to use it like that, use it. Only then move this way because you plan to do it. Otherwise, stick to the triangle. Do the 45-degree. You go in the front, speak to them, come back, go in the front, move and come back and use it. Please don't pace up and down. It's terrible. Now, we've spoken about stage usage, right? Like we've just graced through the top of it. There's so much that we can get into, but today, of course, we've done a lot of other things and there's a paucity of time, so we will stick to this. I also want to speak about online stage usage. Online? What stage? This very stage. I'm on a stage right now. Our life, whether we like it or not, is half online too these days. And this is still a stage. How do you use it? Now, I've had a few faux pas. My hands went out of this frame. Ideally, in a speech, just make sure it doesn't go. That's because I had camera issue. But just know that your hand has to be within this frame. And you can use it here too. Remember that 45-degree I told you where you're moving towards? You can do it here. How? You lean in. You say a point. Go back to ground zero. I've been consistently doing it if you've noticed. Then you lean in and then you go back. This is leaning in, going back and speaking. Now, the question I'm often asked is, I'm already thinking of my speech. On top of it, I have to do this again is hard. Practice, yes, that's the best thing. But here's the thing. When you're speaking, speak with passion. Don't speak just to impress people. Believe in what you're saying, and all of that is there. When you do that, you really want to tell them, I really want you to know. I really believe in it. These things will automatically come to a large extent because our brain is tuned to move towards people, right? So this is, of course, the philosophical part of it. And but practice. Maybe 1 or 2 times in your speech you can try and do, and then it'll come automatically. Like now, I don't even do it intentionally. It just comes off. And I know it's coming in the right place. So what you can do in your speech, mark and say, when I'm saying this, I am going to go near. And when you practice, do it in 2 places, first time. And then it'll set in. Then you will automatically know. It's easy. It's just a muscle that you have to train. So just try it out, right? So online, offline, stage usage is pivotal. A footnote. Of late, there is a lot of theatrics on the stage in Toastmasters. It's not very realistic. Nothing wrong with that if it comes naturally to you and you're like that, that's totally fine. But what I would humbly suggest is don't overdo it. Don't try to do it because everybody else is doing it. It's not your style. Please stay away from it. Stick to your style. Magnify your style of speaking. I'm a very soft, slow, non-theatrical person. Absolutely fine. Please do it your way. We want to see your way. If everybody is a photocopy of each other, what is the whole point of this? Right? So just do it your way, do it the best you can, and follow these things. And there's so much more that you can learn. Right? So be yourself. Be the best version of yourself. I know cliche, but then really there's nothing else that explains it better. Be the best version of yourself on stage. More than enough. In fact, that's what we need. With that, we've covered preparation, stage fright, cross the valley, come onto the stage. We've spoken, we've delivered our content, we've used our stage, we've come to the end of the speech. And oftentimes, in the conclusion, a projection becomes a beautiful asset to have. You're leaving, you're going with a bang. Most people will not remember the entire speech. They're probably just looking at you. It is how you leave them feeling which sticks on. Okay, and in the contest, I always use this trick, guys. Okay, the cat is out of the bag. No matter how my speech is, I try and make the ending like big bang, amazing and all of that. And I've won a few, so I think I can say it does work to some degree. So try it. With that, we've come to the end of the segment, and I hope you'll had some good points to take away, something you all can action upon right away. And now we are open for questions.
Firstly, can we hear a wonderful round of applause for, oh, did I scream or did I project my voice? Can we have a pompous show of appreciation for distinguished Toastmaster Aparna, everyone? Please come on video, applaud for her, give all the reactions, and my Zoom moderator and everyone, please click pictures with all these beautiful reactions we are getting from everyone, even on our YouTube live chat. We've heard from people saying that they only know Aparna, they don't want to know Ramona.
I can promise she's much better.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You already stole my heart multiple times. And by speaking about Ramona as well, that was just a cherry on top of the cake. Thank you so much, Aparna, for that wonderful session. I have made all the notes. Anybody who missed it, you just missed it. I'm not sharing my notes. So with that, we are now open for a quick Q&A session by everyone. We are 60 people right now, and we have approximately 45 people on our YouTube live session. So everyone, please feel free to unmute yourself. We ask, can we enable unmute option for people? so that they can just unmute and ask the questions. Yes.
Serish, I
Okay.
believe we also had a few questions on the form, right?
Yes, we had few questions in the form. Do you want to see
If
the
you
form?
can just pass it on to me on the chat, I can probably club the questions so that we're able to cover as much as we can.
Sure. So
Thank
we
you.
have 4 questions on the chat, and I will ping. Meanwhile, can we take Shilpa's, Shivani's, everybody who has raised their hands? I'll just ping in this group, and you can take it one by one, Aparna.
Sure, thank you. Go ahead, Shilpa. Are you able to unmute? Yeah, there you are.
Yes, Aparna. First of all, thank you so much for this session.
My
A
pleasure.
lot of points that you have mentioned, I have tried practicing, and it is one of my keys that I'm very happy that I'm not doing something wrong, and I'm in a right path. I have a question for conclusion. When it comes to conclusion, the minute I see yellow, I am in a rush to conclude. The speech would have been beautiful until 6 minutes with all that you have mentioned, projection, pointers, story, everything goes well. But the 6th minute, I'm gone. Shilpa vanishes off. She is in the rush to conclude, and the conclusion doesn't fall in place. Please help me with that part.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something which you already know. Practice, right? Practice, but I'll tell you something else as well. I don't know if you have your timer on when you speak. Yeah, you have your timer. You're not supposed to panic at yellow. You're not even supposed to panic at red. The idea, just get this into your head. Contest winning and all that is fine. What is more important is to articulate what Shilpa thinks. If not this year, then next year you will win it. But what you think and how you leave me feeling is far more important than any trophy. Right, Shilpa? If you get this idea into your head, what's going to happen is when the yellow comes, you're totally fine. I don't have to rush. I know what I'm saying. I know it's important. And you will finish your speech. Even if you exceed time a few times, it's okay. Exceeding time a few times, and then the timer will tell you by how much you've exceeded, will give you a sense of how long you had before you actually exceeded. Actually, yellow to red and the 30 seconds thereafter is actually a long time. You won't know it. After you finish and take your time report and see if you rush in and you see, you'll actually have a lot of extra time left. It's actually perfectly fine. At yellow, you start wrapping up your speech. At green, you should be in the body of your speech, right?
Yeah.
At yellow, you start wrapping up. So I'll give you one hint. Your transition should be happening at yellow. The
Okay.
conclusion, that is the max. You can be
Hmm.
ahead of it. You can already be in the conclusion. But your cue is, you've got to be in the transition. And the conclusion, ideally, should not have more than 3 points. If you stick to this formula, there's really no way that you can exceed time. Absolutely not possible. Even if they show you the red card, you will be within that 30-second time frame. Post red card. Transition should be happening at the 30-second card. Does that help?
I shall try and tell you later.
Do let me know. Do let me know. I'd love to hear.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Shilpa.
Thanks a lot, Shilpa. We will now move on to, do you want to take up the questions in the chat, Aparna, which are from the form?
Yes. Guys, we will definitely listen to you guys.
I'll quickly read through the questions. The first one is how to evaluate club meetings positively.
Okay. Evaluation at Toastmasters has to be positive. I don't have to tell you. And that's why you're asking that question. See, just know this. I'm paying money so that I can become better. I'm not paying money here at Toastmasters and coming here and giving my time so that someone can criticize me. Please respect that. That is the underlying idea. We've had in the past, I think we've all witnessed some really good speakers come in and tear people because they want to show them that for whatever reason, let's not go in there. For whatever reason, they will tear them. And that is not good at all, no matter who they are. They could be a seasoned Toastmaster. That is absolutely against what Toastmasters stands for. And this is written in stone. It cannot be changed no matter who they are. So how do you evaluate positively when you say, I mean to say that the speech was really bad, and how do you say? Just see those immediate points that they can do well. Immediately what can I do? Because a lot of us come here, Of course, English is not our first language at all. We're all not native speakers. We think in a different language. It has to change and it comes. We're making an effort to come here and learn. So let's keep that in mind and tell them what can they do immediately to improve. Maybe they were struggling for, to think through their points. Then tell them how can they better prepare their content. Maybe in the delivery, they were fumbling, the grammatical errors were a lot. Then tell them, give them ideas of how they can use simple, short, simple lines so that the grammatical errors are minimized. So give them those immediate tips that they can do immediately. You don't have to sound wonderful in your evaluation. First of all, remember, evaluation is not about winning the best evaluator of the day. If it is not sufficing the speech, if you're not helping that speaker, please don't evaluate at all, right? That's the whole point. So give them points they can immediately work on. If it is a terrible speech, if it is a fabulous speech and you have no points to say, just tell them how you felt hearing that speech. That's the best thing to do. This is what I felt, and this is how it went for me. That's what you can do when a speech is really good. So I hope that answers.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aparna. So the other question, there are 3 more questions in the form.
Yeah, I'm seeing this. Are you naturally dynamic public speaker, or did you become one through practice? If it was through practice, how long did it take? Okay, I think all of us are public speakers. And let me tell you, introverts are some of the best speakers, introverts. That said, I'm not an introvert. I'm an extrovert, extrovert of the highest order. It doesn't work in my favor. It actually took a lot of work to push myself into that time frame and speak legibly and sensibly in that time. I had my own struggles too. Was I dynamic? Dynamic, I think I was hyper, right? And I've been on stage since I was a little kid. The first time I went on stage, I actually ran away without finishing my speech and I thought I'll never go back. But my teacher was very encouraging, Mrs. Gigi. I speak about her everywhere. She said, it's okay, do it again. So keep trying. Dynamic, you are dynamic, you think you're lazy, you think you're whatever you are, all that doesn't matter. Idea is, I have an idea worth sharing. TED, I have an idea worth sharing and I want to share it with you guys. And that is my intention. You do it within this time frame. That's all. Don't think too much about it. Just go and do your best. Yes, practice absolutely through immense practice. I'll give you an idea of how much I practice for my, see, this is just my opinion, okay? There might be different opinions. I practice a lot. For this particular speech, I've been practicing for 3 days. What I spoke to you, I practiced for 3 days. I've been writing down. And 𝗂𝗍, I actually called her up this morning again to touch base to see if you're on the same page. You have to practice. Practice never stops. The best speakers, you always have to practice. So never, perpetually on. How to connect to audience. I think that's what we spoke about, projection and all of that, stage usage, whatever jing bang we spoke of today. How can we maintain eye contact with all sides in the audience? What to do with your hands in stage if we don't know what to do? Okay, before we come to that question, can I take Manikam's question? Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Like you are talking like a voiceover artist, like a seasoned artist. Thank you so much. And I really get to know about this the projection, voice projection. How do I differentiate between the power and the projection? So these many days I was thinking, okay, talking like a powerful or with the higher pitch is the projection. That is what I was understanding. Now you are giving it in a different term. So how could I differentiate and then rightly place?
Content makes your speech powerful. Projection also makes your speech powerful. So great content along with projection is when your voice is powerful. Now, powerful doesn't mean screaming is something we've established through the segment. That's exactly what I was saying. It's not about screaming. If your content is great, okay, and even if it's mediocre, with the right projection, it can come out powerful. That is all. If you feel someone is speaking very powerful, it's because you're projecting well. That is all. Powerful is the whole idea of projecting. Do it through that exercise, sir. You know, that vibration exercise I taught you, the pyramid exercise that I suggested, look up again if you want to do it. Do it. It is not being an Arnab Goswami. It is irritating. It is about speaking sensibly at a right pace and throwing your voice with a lot of clarity is what makes it powerful. Now, how you use it is up to you. So powerful is definitely projecting only.
Okay.
That answers?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It's not screaming. It's not screaming on top of your voice at all. You're probably loud when you do that. You're not powerful.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Aman, hi.
Hi, good evening. First and foremost, I would want to tell the session was truly insightful, and I loved the energy which was there. The way
Thank you,
you
Aman.
conveyed was also great. So my question would be that sometimes I blank out, meaning I run out of words. I blank out. It happened once when I was giving my speech, at least 4 to 5 times, but I still had the courage to continue. Otherwise, I would have dropped off. I didn't do that. But then
Wonderful.
the issue is I faced it several times, meaning blanking out. I forget something. It
Hmm.
shows on my face. What I can do to avoid to show blank out if in case I get the sensation.
Okay. See, I don't know how long you've been with Toastmasters or how long you've been speaking. When we start off, it's okay to take help with notes. It's okay. If you're writing it down, write down the points. Don't write your entire speech. It won't work in your favor because you'll be searching. Okay. Write the points, keep it in your hand when you're starting out. Use it as a crutch when you're starting off. It's okay. The evaluator will say, don't use it, do it on it. That's fine. It's your journey. Take your time to get out of it. Get out of that problem that you have. Everybody has this, by the way. And you can use that as a prop. This is practically very easy to follow. Use it and do. Second thing, something I noticed, Aman, you speak quite fast, right? Not just
Yeah.
you. We all speak fast. And I used to speak so fast too. Intentionally slow down. Okay. One thing, okay? Your speech will not magically transform on the stage. It has to transform in real life. The way you speak has to transform in life. You've got to slow down your speech even at home. Even generally, you've got to slow it down to some extent. This will translate onto the stage. When you slow down, your mind is calm and you're able to think better. It'll give you that space to think through what you want to say next. This is the only way in which you will not forget what to say next. That is assuming you've done enough practice, right? So for now, slow down. Take the help of that cheat sheet that you have with your points and do your speech at a slow pace. Practice it in the slow pace and start speaking a little slower.
It should be moderated, not too fast, nor too slow.
Absolutely. You will increase your speed as and when needed in your speech. Like, you want to anguish and all that you want to show, you actually go very fast. And, I was so angry. I wanted to bang the table. I wanted to break it up. So this is practiced. You do it intentionally. Your neutral 0.0 itself cannot be that fast. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So keep that minimal, not very low, just optimal rather. And then move. But you got to do it at generally also you should start speaking slowly. Helps? Awesome. I'll take the question now. How can we maintain eye contact with all sides in the audience? What to do with our hands in stage if we don't know what to do? You can't maintain eye contact when you're on a stage. You can't, like, how your eye contact is not like looking into people's eyes and all. Please keep that for your family and friends. Nitin, I will come to you in a bit. What we need is scanning. The audience has to feel that you're looking at them. For that, what we do, we scan across. Scanning is looking over the heads. Looking over the heads of people like this and maybe a few faces and nodding. That's all we do. That's enough. What to do with your hand? I know, the million-dollar question. First of all, open body language. Use it with your speech. Your hands move naturally. We, out of fear, hold it back. So you don't have to do anything with your hand intentionally unless you want to show something, like you want to show that or something that you want to do intentionally as part of your speech. Don't do anything. Just leave it free. It will do its work on its own. So what do I do with my hand? But if you don't know what to do when you're starting out, I will say do the stepple. So this, you'll see a lot of speakers doing this, right? It's actually sort of closed. It's midway. It's not fully open. This is 0.0. We keep it here. You'll see a lot of speakers doing it. I can't see my screen. Here like this is easy because you're nervous and this is there. And then you open up often and you speak and you can come back here. You're basically stabilizing your body, right? When you do this, it's called a stepple. So you hold it and then you speak, come back, open up, come back. This can help you. Don't do this. Please don't do this. This is a slightly better version of this. So do the stipple, speak and come back. And slowly the target is to even do away with the stipple. Do away with it. Keep it open. Like, casually move it. If you don't know what to do, come to the stipple like this. Okay. So yeah. Yes, Padma Priya, let's go. Hello, Padma Priya. How are you? Been a while?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Charming as always. Thanks for the wonderful session. But then I had one quick question. Supposing we are on an evaluation path and we don't know the topic the speaker is presenting. No idea at all. Meaning there are some characters, there are some pictures or props being used, and you do not know anything at all. But then you are the evaluator, thinking that that can be your general topic which is chosen, but you end up seeing that you don't know the topic at all. How do you handle such situation?
You're saying
Being an
you don't
evaluator,
know the topic, or the
the
speaker has
evaluator
told you?
doesn't know the topic. Evaluator doesn't know the topic at all.
Yeah, we can't know everything. Someone comes in and speaks to me about semiconductors, I'm not going to know either. So that doesn't matter. It's besides the point. But the point is, how are they making the speech? Remember, I told you, if you don't know what to say, break it down very objectively about the speech itself. When I spoke about it, okay, why are we making a speech, first of all? To convey some idea, to make you think a certain way, to share an idea, to make you laugh. There is a central purpose to all our speeches. You've got to identify. Like, first, the question you have to ask is, why did this guy actually make this speech here? Does he just want to show off? Well, that's a different story. Maybe he did, but why not? Right? So the idea is, why did he make this speech? You'll have to figure out. Maybe most of the time, I'm assuming it was not a good speech. If it's a good speech, you'll have something to say. Maybe this guy just made a very not so great, but he spoke about a topic you don't know. You've got to find out what was the central message of it all. He's trying to share something. He's trying to educate. He's trying to entertain. What is that central purpose? Evaluate from that angle. See it from that angle. Did he achieve it? You can tell that. Did you actually do that? Now, if he was actually trying to entertain, you tell him how he entertained you. If he's trying to inform you, because it's a topic you're saying you don't know, clearly he didn't. So you probably tell him, for people who don't understand, like you tell him the good things. Then you say, for people who don't get it, it would be nicer if you gave us a context in simpler terms to start off with, because he's not making the audience connection. So tell him why you say that also, because you're not making audience connection. What happened to you, Padma Priya, is what is happening to others. So it's not helping him in any way. You call it out and say it in a nice way that you're not making the audience connection. So explain it in the beginning and then go into the deeper thing. And as you're going, you can check with the audience, something like that. So tell him that if I were you, what can I do better so that my speech it reaches? So first point, what was the purpose of speech? Identify that. From that angle, evaluate him. Then you can evaluate every speech possible.
Thank you so much. That makes sense.
Yeah, wonderful. Pavan, and then we'll go to Nitin. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Aparna, one question, Aparna. Like mostly when I look at the Toastmasters competitions and all, like ISC or anything, I see most of the people go with the same speech for club, area, division, and district, etc. That's fine. And again, when you go with the same kind of, you went with the same topic or same speech. No.
Yeah. I practiced it for 6 months, so I just did that. So yeah.
Okay. No. So what happens is, like sometimes, like these are some good punchlines where at club people laughed, at area people laugh, at division, and you're so confident that even in division it will crack and people will laugh. Suddenly, what happens in an area is people don't laugh at that. I personally faced this in the last district competition, where I was sure that this line will definitely make people laugh and all, and that was actually somewhere in the second minute or first minute or something. But there was no reaction from the audience, and suddenly it blanked my mind. Did I say it correctly, or did it land up correctly, or something? Why did it not working in the district when it worked everywhere?
Yeah.
So such kind of a thoughts, if you get how do you overcome if you suddenly face such a situation?
Okay, I'm going to tell you something. My humor is not the greatest. Okay, so I'm not the best person to help you with humor. I'm just going to put that out there. But one thing I have seen is the same speech, when you take it across, it starts dying unless you revive it continuously. It happened to me multiple times because the energy and the conviction with which I was able to speak the first time, because of so much practice, it just comes mechanically. It is many times not the audience who's not reacting. It is you probably not delivering it the way you should have. Okay, that joke, you knew they would laugh, you've done it, it just came. You know, there is a slight delivery that we will do when we are so sure of it. It's practiced, and first time you don't know, there is apprehension, there is a little holding back, there's a little all of that dies when you do it multiple times. It is possible. That was the problem. So what you can do is you can either switch it up. So I did this with the speech. Someone said this. I think I asked this question to Dhananjay and I said, I did this. I keep doing the same speech because the speech becomes better, definitely. But these points, that is the screaming, the theatrics, the humor and all starts taking a beating. It has to be revived. So every step as you're going, change it a bit. Change it a bit. The same audience might be turning up. They might not laugh. So audience reaction goes down, you feel, because we're taking energy from them and that doesn't come out how you're going to do. The next thing won't land. You're already like giving up. So change these parts. Definitely amp it up. The next part, as you're doing your speech, first keep it very thing and then switch it up. Change the joke. Maybe build up a second layer to the humor. Do that, please. Change the joke. So you've got to do that. Otherwise, most of these things don't land multiple times. I know what you mean.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Nitin, let's go. He's been raising his hand too for a while now. Yes.
Hi. Thanks for your time. I just got one question.
Sure.
I just joined Toastmasters less than a year back, and after some 3 to 4 speeches, I got into contest and I went up to division. But
Nice.
from area onwards, what I feel is like once I reach the stage, I feel like I have like my mouth is going extremely dry. I literally feel like I have half a kg sand in my mouth. So
yeah.
maybe this is like I don't know. Since I'm totally new, that's why. But still, I just want to ask your advice.
I think I'm quite old in this game and I still feel like I'm chewing on sand half the time. It happens to everyone, yeah. First of all, just know it happens to everyone. Like I said, we spoke about stage fright. It is a natural reaction. Throat going dry is a natural reaction. Having a little warm water, a sip of warm water changes the game. People are like, just that will help. Yes, just that will help. Have a sip of warm water. I do multiple things which are well researched and told to me. I wear warm socks on my feet when I'm doing stage talks. Even now I'm wearing actually, because you will get cold feet. What happens is when you're physically uncomfortable, it will show up in your speech. You're physically uncomfortable, your mind is thinking of those things. So wearing clothes which are comfortable, appearance, handled, all of the things that you can handle before you get onto the stage, please do it so that on the stage you can concentrate on the speech and nothing else. It's got to be the speech and the audience and your energy to them and the energy back from them. That is all is the game. The rest of the things shouldn't hinder. Like clothes, I keep telling people, wear comfortable shoes and all of that, because these things subconsciously, they'll actually pull you back like a dry throat. So make your throat like, sip of warm water, have it in a can, have a sip of warm water, do your mouth exercises, get on, practice the starting 3 lines, 30 seconds. Practice that, get onto the stage, Nitin. You'll just whiz past it. Okay. Area, it is also possible. It is a big stage for the first time. Just know this. The stage after a point doesn't matter. If it is 5 people, the same caliber and the same level of preparation. If it is 500 people, same caliber, same level of preparation is what we're going to put in as speakers. It's sort of a promise we make to our audience. So it doesn't matter how big or small the stage is. The same level of preparation, the same level of diligence, and the same amount of takeaways we're going to give. So next time you go, just do all these for the physical things and all. It can be easily taken care of. Take care of it. Get onto the stage. The others could have been better than you. They probably got more claps than you. It's fine. You still have something to offer, and that is why you made it there. Give it to them. It's your job. It's your duty to give it to the audience. Give it to them in the best possible way and get out of there. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's more about the audience, not about you when you're doing a speech. You're giving.
Thank you.
Helps? All right. I should probably become like a motivational speaker for people before they make speeches like, you gotta do this. I should pick up as a job. All right. I think we have a few questions here as well.
Yes. Before you take the next response, I know that we are running a little overtime because of the popularity of this particular session, right? We are completely okay to, if anybody has any other question, we are completely okay to take that question. If Aparna, you are fine to, spare the next 5 to 10 minutes in taking up the queries, please leave your feedback for Aparna and also let us know what should be the next masterclass so that we are able to cater to your whys, right? So please make sure that you drop at least one word in the chat for this session. This will really help us as a team, right, to build the next session, and also pass it on to Aparna for her motivation. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, we have another question, and Aparna, over to you now.
Yeah, so there's one question here which I want to speak
Yeah.
about on the chat. Shruti, just in a bit, we'll come to you. How to deal with stammering in any communication? First of all, stammering could be a medical thing. So, of course, go to the doc, get it, see where it comes from. You probably need a little counseling, and that's totally fine. Most of us go to therapy. I go to therapy too. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that comes out because of something else deeper. Do that. Now, that said, I had a mentee at Toastmasters who used to stammer a lot. Okay, he used to stammer a lot. The environment at Toastmasters helped him a lot because we are all encouraging, right? We're like, no, you got to do this. And we're patient with them. We give them the time to do it and all of that. But it might not happen outside. People might show faces. Sometimes they might not call upon you. All of that will happen. Okay. And I know it is, you will feel bad. We're human. We will feel bad. One thing you can do is, so this was actually taught to me by someone who used to stammer, not that mentee I told you, who used to stammer, and he stopped stammering, or rather he controlled stammering, and he told me this. So this is not my words, this is what he said. He said 90% of it, 90% of the stammering that comes is just a physical manifestation of something which is there on your head. If you're able to get that out, okay, this is not medically proven or anything, it's his idea. If you can get that out of your head, it'll fix the issue. So fix it easily. There's an easy fix. It's not just about fixing how you speak. For the rest of it, what you can do, speak slowly. Speak very slowly. And I know that stammering happens in some very specific cases when you're going from one point, certain syllables to another syllable, it happens. Figure out where it happens. Either change those words or you practice it. Do what works for you, right? So stammering, the most basic thing you can do is to slow down. But I'm not an expert on stammering, so I will hold my comment only till that. Slow down and get help. Nothing wrong in getting help. Okay. Shruti, shoot.
Yeah. So I think I have a question. I have two questions. First one is on the topic. So the title of the speech. So should it be very complicated? Should it be very simple so that they get the gist of the story? Or should I decipher it with making it a little complex? Or should it be as short as possible? What works best there? How to make it attractive? Or will that even impact in making my speech? It's actually setting the ground for my speech.
Yeah.
Once the contest master announces it. So it is setting ground. So it plays a vital role in getting started.
Yeah.
How do I choose that? I've thought of complex, titles also, but I kind of feel, it kind of sets them very high expectation. I try to keep it very low, like very basic.
Yeah.
But they might even take it very light. It might be like, what is this? So
yeah,
what works out better there?
See, first of all, I personally think it should be simple. It should be simple because the idea is you're going to connect with, see, public speaking is you speaking to a large audience. It's different from presentation at work or presentation anywhere. Presentation is a smaller audience in a much more intimate setting, right? In public speaking, large audience, what caters to larger audience is something simpler because it has to reach to everyone. There might be a few who think it's okay. See, those things you really can't do much about, but the larger, when you average it out, it has to go to most of them. So keep it simple. Keep it simple. It has to suit your speech at the end of the day. That's how we're going to come up with come up with something witty, come up with something fun. Like I remember one speech, someone said euthanasia was the name of the speech. And some people thought it's youth in Asia, right? So it really depends. When you come and you make that speech, you're going to substantiate the title. Like, why did I give that title? It has to be justified in your speech. So don't bother too much about it. Just make it something smart, nothing very long. I don't make it long. Everybody will say this. Don't make it so long that by the end of that title, I've forgotten what your title is. Keep it max to 4 or 5 lines. Yeah, I mean, 4 or 5 words, not more than that, right? Or maybe a single word. It has to suit your speech. You justify the title in your speech. More than enough. Other than that, don't bother, but don't make it too complicated. Simple people like me will not understand. And there are a lot of simple people out there.
Okay. And does vocabulary in the speech matter? Like using all the big words, euphoria, ecstatic, delightful. I mean, does that really create the impact and the influence? Even if I'm projecting it, does that help? Or should I just stick to normal English, which is common man understanding? What works out better?
I will say a bit of both. At the end of the day, we are trying to build a good vocabulary. See, the very point of using vocabulary is to convey an idea better. I could say something like that I was so frustrated because of it. And I could say I was anguished. Right? Now, using good words, people will learn from you. But if you do a 𝗓𝗨 Tharoor, I'm going to sit there with the dictionary and it's a downer that everybody knows. He's become the butt of all jokes right now. And he himself knows it. He did a stand-up on that. So what I'm saying is, draw a smooth line. Use good words. The context of the word, that is when I'm saying I was anguished and you've set the context, people will understand what that means. So don't have to worry about it. I should be able to understand what you imply when you use that word, even if I don't know the word. That should be there in your speech. It should not be such a way that you start speaking about euthanasia, again, going back to that example, and people have no clue till you finish, like what Padma Priya said, I have no clue what you spoke about. Aisa bhi nahi hona hai. So you have that. Explain it if it needs explanation. Otherwise, the contextually, audience should understand. Put yourself in their shoe. Everybody should be able to understand your speech. We are public speakers. Public has to understand. And public is big, right? It's something big. The count of it is big and all of that. So they should be able to understand. If it's a big word, explain it, but balance. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Aparna, I have a question. It's just very, it has been, kind of a constant question every single time whenever I go on the stage as a keynote speaker. Sometimes you speak and there are people in the audience who might not really understand, as in you have a lot of passion towards what you would have said. That's your story. You're sharing that. There would be people specifically in leadership, right? When you go ahead as a leader and you would be addressing a lot of people, there are the people who have just joined, they might not relate to those stories, but because you're speaking in that simplistic language, it becomes relatable to them. But the people who've been involved in those stories, and they pass on a reaction where you lose your confidence, right? So they don't like you. Like you said, there would be people who would just say that, okay, I want this person to fail. And majority of the times, there would be people who would want you to succeed every single time. But there will be people who would want you to, it's not a failure or a success factor as such, but just that particular story doesn't bring the right impact on them. And they laugh out, or they just give a gesture where you feel so underconfident. It has happened with me, and I'm pretty sure it happens with every single leader who goes as a keynote speaker and giving those stories, right? So how do we just ignore? Sometimes I practice so much and I go as a keynote speaker and I fumble. I don't want to use any filler words, but when I see that reaction, my mind wanders. I forget everything, and there is a filler.
Okay, I'll tell you something. Okay, since we're speaking leadership and all of that, any speech or presentation, identify your stakeholders. When you're speaking there, do you have any other motivation for that? Like, are you looking to get a buy-in from the leaders? Who are you looking to get a buy-in? Who is more important for you? And please, you don't have to be very this thing about it and say that nahi, janta ko sambalna hai, I have to impress, nahi, kuch nahi. At the end of the day, a speech is made with something that you are looking for too. It's important, be clear. If your stakeholders are the leaders, then draft your story like that. Speak in their language. Don't have to touch upon everything just because you're passionate, because your passion is not going to be taken care of. It's going to be ignored or stamped upon. One. Second thing, from our side, when we are passionate about something, you should be okay to understand everybody doesn't have to be passionate about it. And it is fine. I'm not passionate about sustainability. Sorry, guys, I'm not. I only, do all of that segregation. Otherwise, I'll be fine. My garbage segregation, I do. Otherwise, I'll be fine. I am not. But there are other things I'm passionate about. People are not. Our differences are totally fine. right? So you have to understand that. You don't have to expect them. With this understanding, you go in there and then you make your speech. Now, when we are passionate about something, we tend to overdo it. Okay. And 𝗂𝗏, I say that because I do it. And I think you and I are very similar speakers. We're showing that enthusiasm, childlike enthusiasm. It becomes funny after a point where a lot of people tone it down. Tone it down. As leaders, as we grow as leaders, it is so important to tone down our emotional reaction to things. And for that, the first thing is to safeguard it. Don't show it out so easily. You're passionate about it, show it in your words, show it in your projection, show it as power, not as vulnerability. Project it and say, this needs to be done because of this, and not because, I've always wanted to do it, is not a line you use in a keynote. What you're going to say is, this is something even the leaders here should be looking at, leaders such as yourself who can make a change. Okay. You're putting the language has to be different. It's one of power and not vulnerability. It's so important here. This is so important.
Sure. That was a wonderful tip. I'll always remember this because that really shakes you, right? When you don't get the reaction you would want.
Yeah.
So that's really important. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Be good with questions. Guys, by the way, I'm okay to leave my mail ID. Is that okay, 𝗂𝗏?
Yes, I think we are already, at 8:26. We were supposed to close this by 8:05.
Yeah, I have to go.
So 20 minutes. Yeah. So that's I think that was very generous of you, Aparna, to stay back for the Q&A session. I still see a lot of people in the YouTube live chat as well. And I don't know, Techmaster Yaska, if there are any other questions, we can go ahead and keep the form open, which is there for the questions. And we can share the same with you, the questions which are asked, right? And the feedback as well over an email with you. Everyone, please go ahead and mail Aparna. Her email ID is here, trylife101@gmail.com. If you want to connect with her, feel free to reach out to her on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, and she's obviously a member of District 92. So she will always be there with us. So yes, feel free to reach out to the PQD office in case in any other future session you would want a particular speaker to be there, or you would need a kind of a training which you feel is not there yet. So with that, I would really like to thank everyone. With the last set of 34 people, can you all please turn on your videos so that we can quickly take a snippet, while we have taken a lot of snippets. However, the last one, and then it's dinner time for everyone, for a majority of people. So we can break off for dinner, not sponsored by the district. Yeah. My 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗍 are here. I can't say that. I have to say that. Otherwise, they'll be like, okay, what happened? Okay. Let's click a picture. Someone is clicking. Let me remove Aparna from the spotlight and go to gallery view.
I've done it. Don't worry. I'm taking pictures, but I just want to.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Let's click another picture together. Everyone, can we please show the reactions for Aparna's session, the heart reactions, the floating reactions like this one?
That's perfect.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Wonderful. Wow. Taking multiple pictures. Great. Let me take another. Okay, just aside. Awesome. I've taken it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aparna, for your time. It was just wonderful to listen from you again. And it has always been a pleasure and an honor to see you speak with the voice, the vocal variety, I would say the presence is so enigmatic. I totally love it. That's why you were the choice for us for our first masterclass.
Thank you.
Everyone watching us online and hearing this recording, please feel free to get in touch with District 92 over several social media handles. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe to our channel, and also the members of District 92, feel free to reach out to the PQD office. We have our EduComs and the PQD team here as well. Feel free to reach out to Deepak, Pranav, Nagesh sir, and Murga Prasad for any session you would want in the future. This is the first edition of our monthly masterclass. Looking forward to a lot more participation from each one of you. Thank you so much. Keep sharing your feedback. And yes, our motto, the 3 golden words, 𝗍𝗏 quality 𝗍𝗀. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.